2000. Yes, we have gone clear.
देख अपने आ रहे साइड वेब के चैनल पे कुछ स्ट्रीम पे।
Arona, no catch me, come me, stay away from this pig in news देखता हूँ.
हाँ आ रहे।
Security. आ रहा है?
यप, वी आर लाइव ऑन स्ट्रीम। हाँ बताओ सर क्या करना है।
हमारा भाई जोगिंदर. हाँ?
तारा भाई जोगिंदर, ये करना है।
नहीं नहीं.
क्या
ये बोलो
गेम?
देखो, वो तो अभी नहीं खेल सकते. वो यंग फिली और चंग खेल रहे थे वो गेम.
हम्म हम्म
सब वर्जन बना या तो अपन ऐसा बेस्ट फ्रेंड वर्जन बना सकते हैं
हम्म
या जनरल नॉलेज या मैथ क्वेश्चन. ठीक है.
हम्म
ठीक है. अब ऐसा है जैसे कि बेस्ट फ्रेंड वर्जन में मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ तेरे को.
हम्म,
तेरे को मतलब रैपिड रैपिड फायर टाइप तेरे को फटाफट उसका आंसर देना है.
हाँ
अगर नहीं दिया तूने तो तेरे
हाँ।
को सब मुंडी नीचे करने का पटाख से यहाँ पे नेक पे एक मैं मारूंगा.
ये साले नहीं। मारपीट
और
वाला गेम
और
नहीं
अगर
खेलना।
और अगर मैं समझ नहीं रहा. और अगर मतलब अपन अगर कुछ जीके वाला या मैथ वाला ऐसा कुछ खेले
हम्म
तो कोई थर्ड इंसान क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा होगा जो होस्ट होगा या ऐसा कुछ.
हम्म
और वो क्वेश्चन पूछेगा और अपने दोनों में सब अपन दोनों आंसर कर रहे हैं तो अपन दोनों में से जो लास्ट आंसर करेगा मतलब जो फर्स्ट आंसर करेगा बच गया. जो
हम्म
लास्ट आंसर करेगा उसको होस्ट ट्रिपली मारेगा. अरे तेरे को
हम्म।
सर लगता है कि ये मारपीट वाला गेम है बट ये बहुत सॉफ्टली खेला जा सकता है. इसमें लोग बहुत टेक्टिक्स यूज कर सकते हैं. लोग पता है तेरे को. बहुत बहुत मजा आ
आइडिया
सकती है.
नहीं है मेरे को अभी तो।
ठीक है वो तो जब आएंगे कॉलेज में तभी देखेंगे और कॉलेज में तभी क्या मालूम कब आएंगे. वल्लाही.
गोइंग गुड।
वल्लाही. Stay
हेलो
away
हेलो।
from this news. हाँ.
हाँ भाई। बोलो।
कुछ नहीं कुछ नहीं. बताओ बताओ.
मस्त है। तो आज कुछ करना था अपने को डिस्कस उस्कस। कहाँ आप तो गायब थे।
मैं थोड़ी गया था. देख चालू कर.
क्या?
वही वीडियो अली अब्दाल का.
अली अब्दल का वीडियो देखने का है? रुको सर। अली अब्दाल करना है तो 1 सेकंड रुकना पड़ेगा।
उसे इंटर इंटर देने की जरूरत नहीं है क्या.
अपना है रे, बाद में रिकॉर्ड करके डाल देना। स्ट्रीम है तो आलतू
क्या.
फालतू। अरे आलतू फालतू स्ट्रीम है, बाद में रिकॉर्ड करके डाल देना। इंट्रो इंट्रो क्या है? अरे अपने को कौन नहीं जानते रे भाई, तू बता ना। कोई ऐसा है जो अपने को ना जानता हो? कुछ बोलना तो
वाह.
बोल। कुछ बोलना तो बोल। नहीं नहीं, दो चार गाली आ रहे तो मन में, यू कैन स्पीक आउट।
वाह. यू नो इट्स सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. जरूरत नहीं है बोलने की. समझ जा. उसे वर्ड गाली समझ ले क्या दे सकता हूँ मैं.
क्या दे सकता है तू? क्या ही देगा तू मेरे को गाली?
वो समझ ले बस वो समझ ले बस वो समझ.
अपने पापा को बस गाली क्या देते बच्चे?
अब तुम्हारी लुल्ली तो है नहीं. मैं पैदा कैसे हुआ.
I was trying to play good, but you ruined it all.
But trying to play good by saying you're my dad, you fucking. क्या बोलूं मैं तेरे को. fucking
कुछ भी
pussy
बोल,
boy.
अंग्रेजी मत।
हाँ तूने किया था ना भाई. अपन बड़ा मस्त एंड करते हैं.
एंड करते हैं। तेज हो रहे हो बेटा। हम्म,
लाइव स्ट्रीम पे आते ही वाज सो डिफेंसिव.
हाय।
हम्म.
हाँ, जस्ट कॉज आई एम लाइक इनटू द वर्ल्ड ना।
Oh, you don't want to be yourself like when we talk.
I
You don't
want
want
to
to be
be,
yourself. You just want
I
to be a
want to be,
different person.
yeah, when we talk, I want to be a more person who can like, yeah, how can I say this? Like I want to be open in like our conversation, but I don't want to be open in the conversation which is public.
You don't want to be yourself basically, right? You want to be someone else, which is not Azhar fucking Malik, right?
That
Right,
that you believe.
right. No, no, no. That is what you're trying to say. Don't try to manipulate words, bro. It is what it is. It is what it
No,
is.
no,
You're not trying to be what you are not on stream. You're trying to be someone else, right? You're
no,
not what you're
bro.
right now. You're not what you're right. No, 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 bro. No, 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 bro. No,
नहीं, 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 नहीं.
no, no.
साले, कुछ भी. हाँ,
Get it,
we are
get it.
all set to watch the video. थोड़ा लगा रहा है, इतना कुछ नहीं अच्छा बनाया नहीं है, बट जो है बहुत अच्छा है.
भाई 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 चलता है भाई, क्या है ऐसे घर और घर में ही बोलने का. Stay away from this pagan use of the camera for fashion.
हाँ, खोलो अली अब्दाल की वीडियो में.
Yup.
और तेरे को कैसे दिखेगी? तेरे को कैसे दिखेगी?
You have to share your screen as well.
यहाँ पे तो नहीं करना मेरे को शेयर स्क्रीन, क्योंकि फिर घंटादार हो जाएगा जो बनाया उसका.
The security.
अली अब्दाल मीट पे स्क्रीन शेयर करो, चल जाएगा?
फिर क्यों नहीं कर सकता तू?
इधर स्क्रीन शेयर करूंगा तो वो जो कैप्चर किया है वो सब फकअप हो जाएगा.
समझा.
समझा ना? तो आई एम,
मीट पे फिर आवाज इन लोग में से मैनिपुलेट तो नहीं होगा कि दो जगह से आवाज आ रहा होगा फिर
आवाज
बीच में.
आएगा, उस वो नहीं होगा कुछ भी. मैं वो बंद कर दूंगा
अच्छा मेरे को चाहिए ना अली अब्दुल का
ऑडियो.
वीडियो से
हाँ,
देखिए
नहीं
क्या
नहीं, मीट मीट पे हो जाएगा.
दो जगह से आवाज आ रहा होगा ना फिर. समझा नहीं तू. मेरे को तेरा आवाज डिस्कॉर्ड से भी डिस्कॉर्ड पे म्यूट कर ले फिर ठीक है.
अरे रुक जा, मैं स्क्रीन शेयर कर ही देता हूँ.
हाँ.
2 मिनट
बस.
लगेगा, सेट कर लूँगा.
No, 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 no,
मेरा
no. Stay
स्क्रीन
away.
शेयर है, खुल रहा है.
हाँ लोड हो रहा है. सिक्योरिटी
अरे साला मेरे को बैड नेटवर्क कनेक्शन क्यों बता रहा है भाई? इतना महंगा नेटवर्क लगवाया. तू शेयर कर दे.
शेयर कर दूँ.
हाँ, स्क्रीन शेयर कर दे.
ओके. देखो आवाज आएगा कि नहीं है, आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट बट.
अरे कर देखते. स्ट्रीम
रनिंग आ गया.
हाँ, यूट्यूब प्ले कर, मेरे को आवाज आ रहा है कि नहीं आयल सी.
स्क्रीन तो देखा ही रही थी ना.
हाँ हाँ, यूट्यूब पे वो प्ले कर, अली अब्दल.
लेट्स गो.
आई एम नॉट एबल टू हियर एनीथिंग. आवाज तेज कर.
आवाज नहीं आ रहा. ऑलमोस्ट फुल क्योंकि आवाज आ रहा है.
जब तूने सेलेक्ट नहीं, जब तूने स्ट्रीम वो शेयर किया था, उसमें पूछता है वो ऑप्शन, तूने दबाया था
वो
वॉइस
मेरे को
वाला.
आइडिया नहीं चलता. और इसको बंद कैसे कर सकते हैं? स्ट्रीम को बंद करो. स्ट्रीम को
अरे
बंद कैसे
इसमें
करेंगे? आप स्ट्रीम पर स्क्रीन करो. शेयर ऑडियो. यस सॉरी ब्रो माय बैड.
आया था ऑप्शन.
अब आ रहा है ऑप्शन. नाउ
हाँ
यू
हाँ
विल एबल टू.
My
जो
car.
आ रहा है तेरी
हाँ
आवाज.
हाँ, गजब गजब गजब. फुल स्क्रीन कर दे.
Oh,
मैं बोल.
लेट्स गो. मैं बस यही बोलता.
कह रहा हूँ फुल स्क्रीन कर दे. आई जस्ट क्या नाम है, सेटअप प्रॉपरली एवरीथिंग।
कर सेटअप कर।
छोटा कर दो, दबाओ।
Bro, no, no cash on me. Calm down, don't mess with me. Stay away from this pagan youth. So the come on, put action on me. Security.
ओके,
Okay.
आई गॉट द वीडियो।
Okay.
एक सेकेंड,
Okay.
जस्ट लाइक मेकिंग ourselves better.
Alright. Alright.
एक मिनट सबर, प्ले कर दे वो। रुक जा, प्ले मतलब वो एकदम शुरू से कर दे।
So the other day,
रुक जा 2 मिनट।
Play कर. Security.
प्ले कर रही अच्छी बात है, 2 मिनट आपका
See this.
वीडियो ले लो।
देख रहा है ये, देख रहा है.
नहीं, एक सेकंड, अभी नहीं दिख रहा, मैं वीडियो ले रहा था तेरा, कैप्चरिंग योर वीडियो। हाँ दिखा, क्या दिखा रहा था?
See this.
व्हाट इट इज?
आज मत
ज्यादा हो गया भाई, थोड़ा लाइव है अभी, थोड़ा मर्यादा में। अगर गलती से भी फेमस हो गए ना तो ये लोग देखेंगे।
इतना इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि नहीं होंगे फेमस, देख भाई, इसीलिए बोलो इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि नहीं होने वाले, ठीक है चलो.
वही तो
कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल है.
गलती गलती उसी को कहते हैं।
Shall we start? Shall we start?
या वी शुड स्टार्ट।
Ready to roll?
या वी आर रेडी टू रोल। देखते हैं वीडियो में क्या
3,
बोल रहा है भाई।
2, 1, go. Now the first thing you notice here is
या
ये भाई के पास Microsoft.
हाँ,
Laptop
चेंज
नहीं,
किया, एप्पल से चेंज किया।
Microsoft. Microsoft.
एप्पल फैन बॉय है
And this
लेकिन
is
बंदा।
Apple fanboy है.
he might be testing new device.
Exactly. It's his next video.
Yeah,
It write this device for this, and then he'll give some links, and then he'll get a pay. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, my boy. Let's start.
Sure. Okay.
had a bunch of stuff stolen from my car. So the other day, I had a bunch of stuff stolen from my car, including my MacBook, iPad, cameras, microphones, and a bunch of other things.
Of course, of course, of course, of course. When you show up your assets on internet, this is what happens to you. Agree or not? Back me up here, bro. Back me up. Yeah. Don't show off, okay? Don't show off your stuff. Just be gentle and humble to it, okay?
You've got a weird accent.
I know, fucking hell,
That-
man.
I know, that's what she said also.
Oh,
Let's play.
let's keep rolling. Yeah, let's keep rolling. Yeah.
Not everything, like my YouTube channel and my team and all of the dollar in the business bank account and all of the gear and potentially even all the skills that I have. How would I get started rebuilding things from the ground up? Would I start a YouTube channel or a blog or a business or even a TikTok account? By the way, please follow me on TikTok. And so this video is going to be my step-by-step guide to how I would actually build wealth and passive income and an audience and all that fun stuff from the ground up if I had to start from scratch. Let's start by talking about 3 foundational principles of building this sort of stuff from scratch, and then we'll have the 5, I think, steps that build on top of that. Principle number 1 is to
अगर ध्यान दिया हो तो बाकी लोगों ने और तूने भी, तो उसने थोड़ा चेंज किया है उसका फॉर्मेट, पहले बहुत बोरिंग हो गया था बीच में कुछ एक
हाँ.
2 महीना समथिंग, राइट?
Yeah, like it was usual stuff. Like he was showing off कि he have this, he have this, he have this, he have this. He is trying to build up this. Now just he is
प्लस
trying to, yeah. नहीं, उसने जो कॉन्सेप्ट से चैनल शुरू किया था ना कि आई एम गोइंग टू टीच, आई एम गोइंग टू गिव
एग्जैक्टली,
अ वैल्यू टू द सोसाइटी, वो इस वीडियो से आई है पिछले 2 3 4 महीनों में.
थैंक यू मेट, थैंक
Yeah,
यू,
let's play.
थैंक यू।
Build in public in a way that helps build an audience. Now, having an audience of people who know, like, and trust you, whether it's people on YouTube or TikTok or Twitter or your email list, that's like a generally
Build an
useful thing,
audience,
because when you
right?
have these people who know, like, and trust you, it means you can then monetize that audience further down the line if you really want to. But it also means that you have like more friends and a network and connections that's just generally nice and wholesome and friendly. And the best way of building an audience is to provide value to those people. The problem is that providing value is like a bit like nebulous. Like, what does providing value even mean? How do you figure out what kind of value you provide? And so an easy way to build the right sort of audience is to, like, when you're starting from scratch and building your thing, to build it in public, i.e. to document the journey of building your thing. And
Documenting
so
yourself.
if I were to start any new business from scratch, or a YouTube channel or a blog or a book or of any kind of venture, I would be documenting the process and like writing down, or maybe even making YouTube videos or blog posts about what it's like to do that, what resources I'm using, what interesting things I've learned. Every time I read a book that helps me with my business, I would be summarizing the key insights from that book that really helped me and putting it out for free out there on a blog, and then sharing the link on Twitter or my Facebook page or my Instagram page, or anything that helps get the word out that, hey, this is me, I'm building in public, and you can follow along for the journey if you like. That leads us on to
Would you, और
आज
मेरे को एक चीज़ नहीं समझ में आया. थोड़ा सा डिस्ट्रैक्ट भी हो गया था. थोड़ा एक बार बताओ कि स्टार्ट में उसने कनेक्शंस के बारे में क्या बोला.
कनेक्शंस नहीं बोला उसने,
हाँ.
उसने बोला बिल्डिंग एन ऑडियंस फॉर योरसेल्फ सो यू कैन मोनेटाइज इट
ओके.
फर्दर डाउन द लाइन। और
बस.
इट्स नॉट जस्ट मोनेटाइजिंग, ऐसा बोला कि एक कनेक्शन भी
हाँ.
बन जाता है लोगों से, ये वो ठीक है।
ओ.
बट व्हाट मतलब, और इसमें उसने फिर और एग्जांपल्स दिए कि तूने एक बुक रीड की तो तूने उसका वीडियो बना के दिया कि भाई ये है, और तूने उस अमेजोन एफिलिएट की लिंक डाल दी फॉर एग्जांपल। ये मैं थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ बट
नहीं, ठीक है.
व्हाट ही मेंट, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ लाइक दिस, ठीक है। ऑल्सो
तो
ये चीज़
हाँ.
मैं रिलेट कर सकता हूँ।
हम्म.
आज मैंने एक वीडियो देखा यूट्यूब पर,
हम्म.
डोंट रिमेम्बर हिज नेम बट देयर वाज अ सेमिनार। तो उसमें उसने क्या बोला कि द अमाउंट ऑफ इनपुट यू हैव
Amount of input you have.
should at least give
Hmm.
at least have output twice of that. If you have X amount of input every day, you should at least have 2x amount of output at
By
least.
output, what do you means? What do you mean? Suppose that, take an example.
Exactly what Ali Abdal said, कि you read a book,
Hmm.
you have a big amount of input,
Yeah.
agree or not?
Yeah, I spent a lot
Now,
of time reading a book. Yeah.
right. Now, if you give output as in YouTube video or a
Hmm.
blog post or an Instagram post or an LinkedIn post or an LinkedIn story or Instagram story or anything anyway, telling your friends, to be honest, by calling them and by telling your friends, you give output with that, right?
Yeah.
That's what he meant. That is very, the difference between deep learning and shallow learning. You know the difference between deep learning and shallow learning? No?
Yeah. I don't. Sorry.
Don't know. No, it's okay, it's okay. The deep learning means
Hmm.
the thing that you learn,
Hmm.
you remember it. You don't forget it, you remember it.
Hmm.
Shallow learning is you learn 10 things a day, but you don't even remember one of them at the end of the day. Shallow
Okay.
learning. Deep learning. The
Yeah.
way you can achieve
Basically,
deep learning.
yeah. नॉर्मल वर्ड्स में ऊपर ऊपर से देख लिया और वो प्रॉपरली पढ़ा ये.
No. That's
हाँ.
not what he meant. He meant is कि तूने पढ़ा दो ही चीज,
हाँ.
तो
और
तूने
अच्छे से
उसको
पढ़ा.
आउटपुट देने की कोशिश की,
अच्छा.
एज इन
हम्म.
also the best way to make yourself learn something is if you teach someone them, right?
हम्म. Yeah.
If I want to build a body I can, but if I experiment with someone else, like भाई उसको वो bench press मारो उसको कितना इफेक्ट पड़ रहा है, तो I can also know कि like
हाँ.
this is the best way to do this exercise, right?
हम्म.
The output कैसे भी. I learned a formula. If I don't give output, there's a formula that if I solve 10 questions a day, I've given output to that formula. That's he what meant about deep
Okay,
learning,
okay.
learning deep. You learn something, but you never implement it. You don't give an output to that.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this guy as well. He gives output of every single thing of his life.
Ali Abdal, yeah, sure.
Okay,
Whatever he
moving
does,
on.
he records.
Exactly, bro.
Mhm.
Somewhere it isn't good, but
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's good. It's good in a way. Like it's also a return on investment. Also, like suppose that he's investing his time and
Agree.
yeah, time and money into something. After that, he makes a video of it. He spends a little bit more of a time and he gets a more return value than even its price sometimes.
Exactly.
Mm.
Thousand X. If he reads a book of $5 or $10 or $50,
Yeah,
gives an Amazon affiliate link, people will go mad on that book, isn't it?
yep. Got it.
That's that. Give output to your stuff. That's
Provide
what I
value
learned.
first.
Provide value. Yeah, yeah, sure.
To principle number 2, which is to provide value first and do not expect quick returns. Let's hear from one of my mentors from afar, Gary
Unexpected.
Vaynerchuk, on this point.
I was very focused on
This is my G. Gary V, my G.
leveling up, and I really believe the one great piece of advice, if you want to take anything from this talk, is we have to start realizing that giving and doing things in business without expectation of return from the other individual is probably the greatest leverage that you could ever deploy in your business life, though it is extremely rare in today's business environment. And it has absolutely been the bedrock of what has allowed me to win.
And so what Gary's saying here basically is that provide value without the expectation of anything in return. And so while building my business, I'd be providing value, as we're going to talk about in the steps, but I'd also be building in public, documenting my journey. And all of this would be without the expectation of anything in return. I would not be trying to sell anything to my audience. I wouldn't be trying overly hard to be pushy and get them to sign up to my mailing list. I would be creating this value, creating this content without the expectation of anything in return. And weirdly, by doing that, as a side effect, I'm going to build up an audience of people who know, like, and trust me alongside. And principle number 3 is that whatever I'm doing, I'd want to target a market
Is
that's
there
filled with that I
one, like, can you stop? There is a question in my mind. Like, I heard both of them. I heard Gary and I heard him. Like, is there any conceptual difference between both of them speaking the same thing?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Gary swears a lot, but he put in a very sweet way. That's the thing.
I was talking about the topic, man. Like, is Gary talking us in context to something else or same thing?
No. Gary is talking about the leverage that one get when he gives away some stuff free, some designs
Okay.
free, some video editing free. What
Yeah.
he is talking about is the exact same thing, but he's talking with some more way of sweet kind of way, not like just giving away, but just
Ah,
providing value in a way. What he
okay.
meant is provide value first, right? So not just giving away, but yeah, providing some sort of value. That's what he meant. And I think that is a good thing. Like to starting from like to start from something, you should at least like give
Yeah.
2 3 bunch of gigs away, right?
Yeah. But like I understand your point about providing value and what Ali Abdal is saying, but like from the time I'm watching Ali Abdal, he was pretty much famous at that time only, but still like whenever he used to get an opportunity to sell something to his audience, he was always up to the mark, and like it felt sometimes that providing value was a little less priority watching his videos back then. Although he had to
Exactly.
build a business, but yeah,
Exactly.
that's the thing I get out, I take
At the
out
end of
from
the
it.
day, you have to do some business, right? You have to eat shit, right? You have to eat.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, that's why you start this in first place, right? So you
yeah,
have to give him
got
that.
it, got it.
Okay.
actually care about. So for example, if it was me, the market I'd be targeting is YouTubers, creators, bloggers, these sort of like creative entrepreneur type. Trying my best to build a business around
Thank you, bro.
that specific audience. I wouldn't particularly try and build a business for new mums because I have no experience of what it's like being a new mum, but I've got friends who are new mums who are very, very familiar with that audience, who love hanging out with new mums, and therefore it would make sense for them to build a business around that particular audience. And there's a really nice quote from Steve Jobs where he talks about this idea of passion.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up.
And then our late friend Steve goes on to say that if you look at anyone who's kind of successful by society's definitions, normally they found a way to enjoy the thing that they're doing, and they loved it so much that was what allowed them to persevere. And so coming back to this idea of building a business.
Adding to that, can you tell me what's common between Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Ariana Grande? Tell me.
They have a huge fan following.
A huge fan following. Okay. We can take that. We'll take that. Okay, and
And
anything else?
no,
Can I say?
yeah,
Can I say?
they all are billionaires.
Okay, they all are businesses. Take that again. But can I say?
Yeah,
Is it safe to say that they are the master of their fields?
of course.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that's what we are missing on this part again. If you are not, what he talked about is passion, right? If you are not passionate enough about it, any rational person would have given up. Right?
exactly.
Any rational person would have given up
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. But the reason why Elon Musk and Bill Gates are Elon Musk and Bill Gates because they had passion for it. We're trying to do web development for years, but if we deep down our heart we don't have passion for that, we ain't gonna make it, bro. We ain't gonna make it. That's the thing.
I've seen the whole Steve Jobs interview, that the clip he showed earlier also. Like, that was the phase of Steve Jobs when like the Apple called him back, so that like when they were going into loss and some stuff. So like that was the point of Steve Jobs' life when like people were getting to know that about his passion and stuff. Like earlier they used to know him as a CEO of a company which sells some things, but like now when they started from that company, after that that company called him and like he showed like he have interest in the work, not in the company. That's what he showed at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to be Steve Jobs. That's what it takes. The passion.
Yeah. You have to put your ego aside and you have to work your ass off.
No. It's not that.
Nah, it
You
is
can't
something
work
like that.
you can't work your ass off if you don't have passion. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's I'm yeah, that's I'm telling about a passionate person. Like if you are passionate about something, then you should
Yeah.
like put
Work your
aside your
ass off.
ego.
Yeah. Mhm. Exactly. That's what I think we all are missing. Passion. I
Yeah.
think we don't have that right now. I think. If one have got the passion, then it's going to be a madman. It's going to be a madman. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So much knowledge.
Wait a minute. Does that like applies if you feel yourself to be a madman or other people call you a madman?
No. Other people call you a madman. From other people's perspective, a madman. Okay, it's never you. It's never you. It's never you.
Yeah.
No one will tell Elon Musk a madman now. Back then, of course, he was a madman. People would have called
Some
him
people
madman. You would
some
have
people
called him madman. I would have.
some people call him alien today, man.
Yeah, that's not a bully. That's appreciation, to be honest. That's a good thing.
I was also on the same page, man. You
Yeah.
just took it a bit far. Okay, let's continue.
Let's keep it moving.
One way to increase our odds of enjoying the thing that we're doing is to target the right sort of audience, to build a business for the people that we already care about, rather than for a completely new audience that we have no empathy or enjoyment with. So those were the 3 foundational principles. Let's now get into the 5 kind of actionable-ish practical steps that I would take if I was starting from scratch. Step 1 is that I would learn a monetizable skill that helps the people that I care about. In my case, the people that I care about would be creators, YouTubers, bloggers, those sorts of people. Probably YouTubers, given that I have so much familiarity with that space and I can empathize with the needs of them, and I enjoy hanging out with YouTubers, and it's just like cool people generally. And so I'd be trying to learn a skill that can help YouTubers. Now, what are the skills that can help YouTubers? Well, the first one is video editing. Every YouTuber beyond a certain size needs help with their video editing. And so if you can provide them service as a video editor for their videos, you can make friends with that YouTuber, make friends with their network, and that's a way of building a business around this idea of creators. Secondly, every YouTuber needs thumbnail. If you're into graphic design, you can become a thumbnail artist. Thirdly, a lot of YouTubers need their stuff on YouTube converted into blog posts. This is something that I have on my website, something my friend Thomas Frank does as well. A lot of YouTubers know they should be doing this, but there's no one out there who says to them, hey, look, I will literally write up all your videos as blog posts for you.
That's a good one there. People normally script their videos, but YouTubers should do this, right? Should script their videos and put it on blogs or LinkedIn posts,
Basically,
that
it
would have them
increases. Basically, it increases the reach through SEO and
reach.
stuff.
Exactly. That helps your SEO. Exactly. Yeah.
Your website, and this will be really great for your SEO and that kind of stuff. Fourthly, a lot of YouTubers want their stuff written up as Twitter threads so they can grow on Twitter. Again, no one really provides a service. So if you can be the person providing that service to YouTubers, i.e. a skill that is monetizable, then you're adding a lot of value, leading with value, and you're building a business around this niche of YouTubers or creators that you personally care about. And so if it were me and I didn't know how to edit videos, what I would do is I would get a part-time job and I'd be saving up about £700 to get a secondhand MacBook. And then I would learn how to edit videos on iMovie by following either my Skillshare class, which you can access for free in the video description, or by following free YouTube tutorials. And then over a few weeks, by doing this a few hours a day, I'd get pretty solid at video editing, and then I'd be able to move on to step 2. So step 2 is that once you've figured out what this...
Learn a monetizable skill, right? We are pretty much there, yeah? We are pretty much there, aren't we?
I guess so, because like we have learned something through which we have seen the market that we can earn.
Yeah. Right.
Like
We've
basically,
done
we are
shit,
talking
we
about.
have done. Yeah, you have dealt with clients, we have dealt with companies, startups, we've been an intern. I think we're pretty much right there. We know service now. Let's see what next we have to do according to Ali Abdal. Okay, let's see.
marketers that you care about. Who are these people that you want to be friends with? Step 2 is to work for them for free without permission and while documenting the journey. And I think it's the for free part here that's crucial, because if I was just starting learning video editing and I wasn't that good and I didn't have a portfolio and I didn't have a track record, I couldn't really approach a YouTuber and say, hey, I want you to pay me to edit your videos, because like, why would they take a chance on me? What I would do instead is I would email a bunch of YouTubers that I like, smaller YouTubers, but also bigger YouTubers just in case. Most of the bigger ones already have editors, but certainly I'd be emailing smaller YouTubers somewhere between the 10K to 100K subscriber range. And I'd be saying to them, hey, you're a YouTuber, I love your content, I really like something very specific about your content. So the email or the Twitter DM or Instagram DM like speaks to them, because it's like you've put some thought into this. It's not just a copied and pasted message. And I'd be saying to them,
I've just got an idea of a startup,
Of writing blogs or something.
No. What he said is he wants to get a YouTuber as an employer, right?
Yeah.
What?
Ah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what happens, when you're in that zone. What if there was a platform
Yeah.
where a YouTuber would, just like LinkedIn, YouTuber would put like, I want a graphic designer, because YouTube is not going to be a small game anymore, right? YouTube is going to
Yeah.
be a very big game now,
Everyone's doing
right?
nowadays. Yeah, including us.
Yeah. Everyone would need a YouTube editor or video editor or graphic designer or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Thumbnail editor.
YouTube Lancer kind of a.
Exactly, YouTube Lancer. That's what I mean.
Got your point.
That's a pretty badass idea. Agree?
I thought of as like there are a lot of like as In right now there are like 2 to 3 companies in the market which like try to capture all the good or big YouTubers, and they like try to hire people under them and provide to them as
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shows
monk.
managers.
I've heard of Monk Entertainment, right? Monkey.
Yeah, like
You
some
heard of?
there are few only just there are few like in comedy circuit. I've heard a lot of like Samay and Tanmay but talking about these. Like they have a company named something and something, and they manage all their stuff. So they give them a manager, they give them an editor, they give them everything. So they hire for them. So it's already a business. Just we are trying to convert it for like they are very selected kind of
Trying to
for
decentralize it.
yeah, trying
Trying
to
to decentralize it.
yeah, great. That's what I wanted to say.
Exactly. That's a pretty good idea. I think
Yeah,
we should start implementing it. Me.
we might try if we have time.
I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm
Ah,
serious, bro. Nice idea. It's a nice idea.
I'm also serious, but I'm also saying that like ideas come like this, as you have said right now. So we don't need to worry about the ideas. We need to worry about the process.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a pretty
Yeah,
deep statement there.
yeah.
Hey, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
To them that, look, I want to edit your next video for you completely for free. All you have to do is send me a Dropbox or a Google Drive or a WeTransfer link with the raw files, and I'll create an edit in your style completely for free. And you can have it and you can use it on your channel. And if you like it, then we can talk about maybe working with me on a paid basis further down the line. Now, if you do this with enough people, there's almost no way that someone isn't going to reply to you and being like, all right, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. You're offering to do this for free. Here's a Google Drive link to my raw footage for my latest video. Let's see what you can do. And now you have a project. You're working for free, and someone has given you the chance where you've got the ability to actually edit their video in as best a way as you can. Now, video editing does require permission. You do need to email someone and ask them to send you their raw files, because most YouTubers don't like publicize their raw files. But there are things that you can do completely without permission as well. One of those things is creating thumbnails. So you can find a YouTuber or a bunch of YouTubers' channels that you like, and you can redesign the thumbnails for them based on what their current style is. And you can email them being like, hey, here are some thumbnails I designed. These might be an alternative to these sorts of thumbnails. I think they would work better than the current thumbnails you've got because of reasons A, B, and C. And I've had 2 people in the past 4 years reach out to me that way by physically redesigning thumbnails for my stuff and saying, hey, why don't you try out these new thumbnails? In both occasions, I was like, oh, okay, this person has gone through the effort of already doing the work.
Does that apply to web development?
I don't think so.
Doesn't it?
And
Don't think so?
also, and also, yeah, and also, I was after like you're going to stop the video, I was going to say that I heard a podcast of Mr. Beast where he used to say like it was a podcast with MKBHD. People will find it on like any podcast app. That MKBHD asked him that do he change the thumbnails of his videos? Like he was the best in the video game, right? So he asked him for the advice that do he change the thumbnails of the videos regularly for getting a better reach? And he said, yeah, like whenever I think of a better idea for a thumbnail, I try to implement it and change it. So like when you're at the big stage, when people reach out to you, that case, or when you reach out to people who are on a big stage, they will easily accept it because they want these kind of stuff happening on their channels.
Yeah. But doesn't it apply for web development? Why not?
It doesn't apply for web development because like okay, it applies in a template basis kind of a thing, but like if there is a business and you make a like a website for it and you try to approach it and they don't even have an interest in making one, so they'll directly reject you. And like for YouTube, changing thumbnail, it's like a easy part, so they don't need to do any implementation or that sort of a thing. They just 2-3 clicks and they are done. So they'll accept it, and they also don't have to pay that much for a thumbnail, so it is easy. But for a website, there are a lot of costs in that stuff that are included. So if the person is interested, then it's fine, that will work. But when there will be a rejection, then we'll be just putting our morale down, nothing else.
See our time. Yeah. Got it.
That's it.
Agree. Yeah. Actually, pretty much, he's giving pretty good ideas. Ali is giving very very good ideas. Actually,
Yeah.
a beginner of it, it's very very easy to approach YouTubers nowadays and start get paid.
I tried to approach around 2 3 YouTubers. I got to touch. Got in touch with them very easily.
Would you like to share?
You know, man. You know them.
I, I genuinely don't have any idea what you're talking about. Like your approach,
Okay.
which YouTuber?
Like I haven't like I just talked to one about something that we wanted to do with them. Like if you remember, we approached Eclipse Nova.
Ah,
Uh,
right.
I also tried to approach some YouTubers in the programming field. They replied to me like Utsavized. That is, I think
Okay.
now software engineering with Utsav. I tried to approach a casual blogger. Like I wanted that I also should have started YouTube with the same time she did, but I wasn't able to do it. Our channel is nothing new, I think. She's from IT
Yeah.
Bombay. Yeah. So like I tried to approach a lot of YouTubers. These are not great YouTubers, but these are small YouTubers. But still you get a reply
But
from
they,
them. That's
but they
enough.
reply. Yeah.
Yeah.
They find a good talk.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
enough. Like Eclipse Nova even called us, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's so
He
dope,
was
man.
down to business. He was down to business. He asked for something ridiculous. He asked for something very good.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Right. They do reply. Yeah.
They do
He have got pretty good strategies. One can apply and be in business. Yeah.
yeah.
For me. And so I just ran A/B tests using TubeBuddy, which lets you test thumbnails. In the end, it turned out that those two people, their thumbnails were worse than my ones were anyway. But the principle was good. Like I really respect the
Stop.
hustle of them emailing
Stop,
me
stop.
with the work will be done.
He's talking about AB Buddy, no? Like
Yeah.
I also watched a video of Jay Kapoor, if you know him.
I don't know.
You could watch his videos. Like those are 2 to 3 minute videos regarding hacks of everything. Like how you
So,
should do hacks of everything. Like you want to don't play ads on YouTube, you have to put this ad blocker, you have to use this password manager, you have to do this, you have to do this for this thing. Like you can get free stuff here. Well, these kind of videos, 2 3 minute videos he makes. He's a very famous kind of a tech.
I know,
Started with a
I
tech.
know,
Yeah, you must have seen his
I
videos.
know,
Jay Kapoor, Jykapor.
I don't know that is what he meant. He meant something else.
No, I wasn't saying about that. I was saying that he told that he's testing the thumbnails on an A/B testing site or something. Yeah, that I also came to know about from Jacob's video. He told
Oh,
me that if you
is
get,
there
yeah,
is there such thing? A/B testing side.
I don't remember
Yes,
A/B testing. Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah,
is. I think there is.
yeah, yeah,
I think there is.
yeah, yeah. So like
Oh,
Jay Kapoor told me about this. Like there are many other sites. He might have told me about any other site which does this all, like all the stuff that is written here. The AI curates it for you. There is a site for that.
oh,
Ah.
oh. This is AI. This is AI, isn't it? This
This
is
is
AI.
not this is not AI, man.
It's not AI.
No. Like there are sites which like do a audit for your designs online and give you feedback that are these designs copied from YouTube or something, are these designs good enough for
Oh,
something, yeah, are these designs copied
also,
from anywhere else.
is there any copyright for thumbnails as well? Because I
No,
don't know.
there is like, yeah, there are copyright for thumbnails. Like if someone have put in not for thumbnails actually, but yeah, if someone has copied a thumbnail from somewhere and he haven't, like, it's like stealing another's resume, right? When you're applying somewhere or
Yeah, but is
portfolio.
that a crime? Is that a crime? Is that a crime?
It's
Yeah,
not a
does
it's
that
it's
affect someone else?
it's not a crime, but it will affect the person whom you are pitching for a job, cause like he needs someone who could work according to his ideas. But if you are like copying from someone, you will not be able to put your ideas that easily.
I get that. Okay, I get
Yeah.
that. But does that affect the person who copies the thumbnail? Does that affect it? Doesn't it?
Not for in case of thumbnails, not legally, But in case of
Okay. Okay.
in
Okay.
case
Okay.
of
Got it.
logos and stuff, it does legally also.
Yeah. This is a mad website. You should all check it out. All thumbnail editors. Yeah, go for it, bro. Go for it.
So it was very easy for me to say yes to. And now if you're a thumbnail designer, you can do this with basically any YouTuber. YouTubers are always on the lookout for like, what is the best thumbnail for my video? And so if someone does the work for them and you can say, hey, you can use TubeBuddy to A/B test it, link to TubeBuddy in the video description if you want to check it out, free trial,
Buddy.
etc. They can literally test the thumbnail and see if it performs
TubeBuddy.
better.
Buddy.
The ultimate way of testing, are your skills as a thumbnail
Pause the
designer good
video.
enough? You can just
Oh, two. Buddy. No, two buddy.
You haven't mentioned it, I think.
Hmm.
It's just his stuff, man.
Right? Okay. Let's keep him more.
improve those skills over time. Equally, let's say you want to be a writer and create Twitter threads for people. You can reach out to your favorite YouTuber and say, hey, this video that you made about like 8 habits of being a millionaire, I've actually converted that into a tweet thread for you that you can just copy and paste onto Twitter, and then that'll help you grow your Twitter audience. What do you
Is that
think?
a thing?
If you like it, let
Twitter
me know,
threads. Is that a
and we can
thing?
talk about it.
Can you pause? Like
I
I am
know,
able
man.
to, like I am a writer, man. I am able to think of a lot of topics in my head. Like I can do the writing stuff. That
No.
this could be a possible idea for a head large of like writing communities present in India. Like there are 10 to 20 to 30,000 people in like in communities in like you could say in
You know
Lucknow
what I
only.
mean. You don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is this Twitter threads a thing? Like, is there people making Twitter threads for a living? That's what I asked.
Not for living, but for part time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people do that, right? People get them
Yeah.
paid, right?
Yeah.
That is outrageous, bro. That is
Like
outrageous.
for my whole friend circle, excluding you, most of the people come for captions to me.
I know, right?
Yeah. So
I
like
know.
I think that's a good job for me or any writer that sort.
Yeah.
Writers,
Exactly.
give yourself a challenge, man.
Potentially
Man.
working together further down the line. These are ways that you can work for the people you care about, in my case, YouTubers, without asking them necessarily for permission, and you can do it for free to get your foot in the door. And then, of course, while doing all this, I'd be documenting the journey. I'd be having my own YouTube channel where I talk about, all right, guys, I've just sent 18 emails today to my favorite YouTubers. Let's see who responds. Oh my God, this person responded. All right, time to edit that video. I'd be documenting the journey. And if starting a YouTube channel is too hard, I just do it through the form of a blog and Twitter threads and stuff like that. And so step 2, work for free for your favorite people like this target market that you care about. Do it without permission if you can, and document your journey while doing so. And then once we've done enough of that, we now have a portfolio. So I'd be building like a personal website using something like Ghost or Squarespace or Notion, or there's all sorts of free ways to build a website, or even very
Can you
cheap ways to build
pause?
a website. And now
Like he was saying that you can document the journey while teaching out YouTubers. Can this be a
Like,
thing into one of our businesses that we are thinking?
what again?
Huh?
What again?
Like as he said, like you have to document the journey of reaching out to YouTubers. Like we also have thought of a business for reaching out to YouTubers or some that sort of a thing. So can we also do that stuff, right? We also could include it. Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Why not?
yeah,
No, that's a very good idea. That, like, for instance, today I just emailed Ali Abdal, and this is his response. It's a good
also,
video, isn't it?
yeah, it's also criticizing about the YouTuber as well that he doesn't reply to like a lot of people in
Yeah.
some cases. And also the thing is that
Bad. It's
yeah
bad.
yeah and also the thing is that if you get a response and if you get a job, if you get your content is growing, that's a good thing, but you're connected to someone who has a great or larger audience than yours, and you'll grow eventually with them also, like
Exactly. That's the thing.
like the secretary case of Ali Abdal.
Exactly. She's
Yeah.
going mad.
Now she has
Is
also has a secretary, so if he pings up
exactly.
man, why you
I see. I say Ali Abdal. The second thing is
assistant?
Ali Abdal assistant.
but
you know,
you searched it, man.
I know I searched it, but still, see, 94, that is outrageous. 94,000 subs, you know.
Can you shut the accent fuck up, man?
What? What?
It's too annoying, man. Can you shut the accent up?
Like, should I shut up my accent? That's what you said.
Yeah. Like we are
That's a
desi,
violation.
man. We have to be desi.
That's Ohio, bro. That's a big Ohio. That's a big L, you know? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Big L, okay?
yeah,
Don't say that again to my face,
yeah,
and of course I can shut it down.
yeah.
Isn't it good? Isn't it good? Isn't it good?
No,
It isn't.
no.
Yeah. Am I like
You're
mumbling
like
enough, or am I not?
over exaggerating yourself, like in talking or having a conversation. You are like,
Um,
it seems like you are
uh,
trying much.
yeah, exactly. Agree. I thought that as well. And okay, we'll shut it down.
No, just
Fine.
try to shut it down. Don't shut it down properly. Like it will take out the fun away from this
No,
conversation.
no, no, no. No. I get. I was thinking about that too. I'm literally over exaggerating myself, and yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem good. You know, you should be yourself. Exactly. That's what I started the
The
stream with.
stream with.
Right?
Yep.
It's that, bro. It's
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Let's play. Let's play.
keeping growing.
Got my portfolio, I've got my show reel, I've got examples of the Twitter threads or the website, some thumbnails or graphic, whatever that I
बहुत
can
कुछ हो
make.
गया भाई अपने पास तो
Hmm?
बहुत कुछ हो गया अपने
Yeah.
पास अभी तक let's go.
Keeping moving. We'll talk it in. Yeah.
Which is turning this into a paid gig. It's pretty easy to turn it into a paid gig, because if you've got like decent samples of work and you're actually good at the thing, which you will be because you're following tutorials on the internet and improving your skills over time, and you've got decent testimonials from the people that you've worked for free, at this point you can now start reaching out to those same people and say, hey, this is how much I would charge per hour if we wanted to work together. What do you think? And they'll probably say yes if it's reasonable. And you can then reach out to other YouTubers and say, what other people that you care about, and offer this for free.
This is after, you know, this is after you have given someone your some works, for example, video editing stuffs free. And you have some YouTube backup as well, and then you have a nice portfolio. Then you can ask someone for a paid gig per
But
month or per
like
hour.
yeah, I believe like while you are building your portfolio, like for most of the people it might happen that they would work a lot for free and they'll like try so much hard, but their portfolio doesn't reach up to the mark where they could get paid gigs. So that's a
Paid
big
gig,
factor where
exactly.
that's the factor what he's missing in the video, I guess, according to me. I don't know about the like real world. I have faced that thing that I
He
have
said,
worked a lot.
say that again. You know, say that again. What is he missing exactly?
He's missing.
People doesn't people doesn't really get up to that level of portfolio where one can,
Yeah,
simply ask for a paid gig.
get a paid gig. Yeah, that's what I think. Like following online tutorials, doing jobs, building your portfolio for free.
No,
Like it
that's the
does.
thing. You don't get you even if you're giving something free, people don't ask you to do it, right? People just
Yep.
pass on you, right?
Even though they don't ask you to do it, that's not the factor. The factor is when you will see that there is no interest from the side of the person that you are doing the work for, then you also get your morale down and you don't do the work up to your mark. That's that's what I think is the problem here. Like if people like put down I'm not trying to say the word ego, but like sort of something like that. You have to put down your thoughts away from it, like what he's thinking, what that's thinking, what everyone's thinking. While you're building something, you have to build it like it is the best thing you are going to build it till now.
But
Yeah.
putting aside your ego.
Putting aside your not that's what I'm saying, not exactly ego, but putting all your thoughts aside, what he's thinking, what I am thinking, what that person will think. You don't have to consider that. You have to put everything best to your abilities to build your portfolio, and that's a very hard and very tough job to do. I think, like the point he said, that it's easy to get paid gigs after you have done that work, but doing that work is the most difficult task. And then most of the people complain, like we also complain, most of the people like us complain that we are not getting paid gigs very easily, because I don't think we have made the portfolio up to that mark that we could get paid gigs. And
Exactly.
in talking to the general context.
That is a very serious matter. You know,
Mm,
it's like millions of views on like HTML, CSS course
yeah,
or but that million people won't get anything.
yeah,
Most of them won't get anything because they don't put their efforts, right?
yeah,
Or people always try to think about that person whom they are building for, but actually they shouldn't, right? They should think
yeah.
about themselves. Right?
They should
Deep
think
shit,
about like how much ability they have got, how much work they could put in.
Exactly, exactly, right.
Initially, and then make like a page that has your prices, and you can have different pricing plans. And essentially you can then very easily turn this into a paid gig because your work will speak for itself. Of course, I'd be documenting the whole journey of doing that as well, reading books about the psychology of pricing, figuring out how to price my services for the hour, reading everything I could get my hands on about how to be a freelancer, because at this point I'd be a freelancer, I'd be sharing my journey, I'd be
Pause the video.
documenting the process.
He's like when he's talking that he's taking us through all these steps. Now reaching at this step, like a person have got, like if he started documenting like at any point above below this stuff, now he has ton of content ideas that he don't have to think about it. Like he just have to
Exactly,
start rolling the
exactly,
camera and like shoot and like play it. That's what it
exactly.
is.
The hard part is just to get the first step.
Yeah,
Rest part is a bit tough, but it's not that
yeah.
hard then to to put
I
the first
I
step.
I also want to say that, like when there comes a choice between doing your thing and doing the thing, like something you are warned about by the person that getting the work done by you. Like if you are talented, suppose that I'll give you example. I used to see a show back in my childhood, if you also remember, on HCTV 18. It used to come Counting Cars, if you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they used to modify cars and give it to the customers and that stuff. So there was a painter named Horny Mike in that, if you remember.
Yeah,
He,
yeah. With the
he
weird hair one.
yeah, he has a weird, he has horns everywhere. Like he used to build
Yeah, yeah,
horns, and like
yeah.
distorted skulls and that kind of a thing. But like if a customer comes and he sees the whole garage of Danny, the owner of the garage, and he want to get his car customized, so he warns Danny that please don't let him use horns.
Yeah, yeah.
But when he used to see the end result, he used to see two three big horns on his car, and he used to like it, man. Like earlier he warned them that I don't want to see these kind of stuff on my car. But when he sees that implemented, that blow up his mind. So you must always, like, while you are freelancing or while you are doing the stuff for a client, you must also like have two things in hand, like one that you want to offer to the client, one that client is telling you to offer, so that you could show the difference
Exactly.
that I have a lot of potential, and if you let me free to do the work, I'll be able to do it better than what you think. You just give me the idea, I'll do the work.
Oh, I agree.
uh,
Agree.
yeah,
I agree. That's very, very, very true. Very true. No, that's very true. Like
yep.
people, I can't add any more stuff. You have already, finished it. I agree.
Sorry, man. I added up
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No problem.
On my blog and on my Twitter. Then after doing this for a while, after building up some money in the bank, I'd be moving on to step 4, which is to productize the service. I've got a friend, Robin Waite, who's written a really good book about this. It's called Take Your Shot. And that book changed the way that I approach pricing, because basically it's like genuinely a very engaging storybook. And it tells the story of this golf teacher who was charging by the hour. And then one day he gets a client who wants to learn golf, but this client happens to be a business coach. And the business coach talks him through and coaches him about how he can convert his hourly pricing into a suite of products, like, 6 lessons for X amount, or this is the outcome you're going to get. This is the money back guarantee. And it's just so interesting seeing how you can just transform your income basically overnight by moving from an hourly charging rate to a productized charging rate. And so again, if I was a video editor, I'd be putting together some kind of package, like, I don't know, 4 videos a month for X amount of dollars. If I was a graphic designer, I'd be doing like 3 thumbnails per video, 4 times a month or 4 times a week or 3 times a week for this amount. If I was a writer, I'd be talking about this sort of Twitter thread for this amount, and here is the money back guarantee, all of the things like that. Read the book, take your shot. It's very good. And so with me, for example, right now, I do almost nothing that charges by the hour because I don't like charging by the hour. Instead, I think, how can I turn this into a product? How can I turn it into a course? We've got a part-time YouTuber Academy, which is my live online course. People always say, like, the message be like, hey, how much do you charge for one-on-one coaching? And I always say, I don't do one-on-one coaching because I don't believe in charging by the hour. Instead, I believe in creating products that can then, offer that same service to multiple people with a more productized system. And in fact, right now I'm working on my own productivity for lazy people course, which you can sign up to the mailing list for, link in the description. That is taking all of my insights about productivity that I picked up over the last decade of my life.
No video where he doesn't talk about productivity 10 times.
Yeah, we can count, we can count on it, we can count.
Yeah.
This guy is...
Since we are ending this point as well, I just want to add a thing that I feel missing from this video and any other people telling about these kind of stuff, like monetizing your business and building from scratch, basically. That the phases he told that are great, okay? The work that you have to do, he explained you, that's great. But there is a one
amount of work you have to put in this stuff. He just said it like it's very normal, but the journey, it's very cumbersome, bro.
Okay,
you have to stick it.
I'm also believing that if you are in the industry, you are able to understand what is the work that you have to put in. Okay, that's fine. But one more thing that's missing, the greatest thing that's missing, that when you have to transition between phases, which he talked about, like growing, doing the time, he do not explicitly say that how much time should a person take. That's totally a person to person dependence. Like someone would think that I would do 4 freelance projects, and after that I'll start doing for 4 freelance projects, then I'll start doing paid gigs. But for some it might be 8, for some it might be 10. So that you have to find out, and that's a very difficult task, I think. Like assessing your job, it's always a difficult task for you. Like you don't tend to believe about it. You have done something wrong.
It's very simple. It's very simple.
Yeah.
When you think
Yeah.
your tasks are becoming boring,
Yeah.
you should transition between the phase. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But that might also include if you are not having an interest also.
No. Not boring as in non-interesting way. Boring as in repetitive work.
Got it.
Like if you ask me now, people will.
If I ask you now.
If you ask me now, make a server for me that runs this thing. Make a authenticated server for me, right?
Okay.
That's nothing for me right now. But will I do it? No.
No.
Well, I've done it ton of time. It's like give me something else that gives me a release of dopamine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you transition between the phase. First, no YouTubers at all. You start connecting with YouTubers. You start free gigs. Now, free gigs and connecting with YouTubers become very boring for you. Then you ask them to pay you money. Your PayPal account or a GPay account gets money. You get excited again. Now that's very normal for you. Then you ask them to you ask to buy your product. You make a website and you give your product like 4 thumbnails a week, 4 thumbnails a month. Now your income is increasing even more. You would have you from $100 you will get $1,000 or $500. Again, release of dopamine. You know what I mean? Stage by stage. When your work become boring, not in non-interesting way, as in this is very easy task for me. In that way, you should at least think of having a transition. Think of pivoting, not pivoting somewhere, but pivoting as in pivoting upwards.
Get it.
You know,
Getting you, getting you. I'm getting you.
Yeah.
Includes my productivity system for lazy people. So yeah, link to the mailing list in the video description if you want to get early bird access to that at some point when it comes out. And finally, that moves us on to step 5. Once we've productized our services and now we've got even more money in the bank, at that point, I'd be looking to hire people. I'd be reading books like The E-Myth Revisited and Attraction and these sorts of business books that once you're a profitable business as a solo entrepreneur slash freelancer, how do you then bring other people on board, either as freelancers or part-time or even full-time if you've got the money for that? How do you bring other people on board to help leverage your own skills and your own time? And so I'm pretty confident if I were to start from scratch over the course of maybe 2-3 years, I'd get to the point where my editing business for YouTubers or my writing business for YouTubers or my graphic design business for YouTubers, that would get to the point where I could comfortably be able to hire people, offload some of the work from myself, leverage my own time and my own skills, and then think about building a business around it so that the results, i.e. the videos or the graphics or the writing or whatever my thing is, so that the results would be generated by the business and by the system, as Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth Revisited, link in the video description if you want to check it out. The results would be delivered by the system rather than by the individuals themselves. And of course, throughout all 5 of these steps, I'd be building up my own personal audience by documenting what it's
And
like to build a
documenting
business
myself.
for YouTubers from the ground up. At this point, we have a few
Great
thousand,
point.
hundreds of thousands of subscribers on my email list or on my Twitter. And then if I really wanted to, I could turn it into a course about, hey, here's how I did this thing over the last 3 years. Here's how I started from scratch and grew a 6-figure income by video editing. And here's how you can do the same. If I wanted to, I could do that further down the line. But to be honest, at that point, I'd have my successful business. I'd be having fun. I'd be profitable. I wouldn't really need to peddle courses to my audience in that context. Now, if you're in the market for a monetized,
like just a question.
Yeah.
Like we said about transition phase, right?
Mhm.
Now I think Ali Abdal has gotten way far. Right? He has gotten to the very end of the transition, right? He have
Yeah.
started hiring people. Not only started, but he have a big team of 22 now, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
he's trying to expand his network a lot. Yeah.
Now tell me what's the next phase for him? Like he's the CEO, he's the boss now, he's the owner of his company, like the YouTube game, right?
Yeah.
But what's the next game he could possibly play?
Starting, like currently his business floats around him, right? Him making content, him telling about things and stuff, right? Now he could hop on to multiple streams of businesses.
As in,
As in, suppose that he's into industry for video and stuff, right now. He's into the industry of like productivity and these kind of stuff, blogging and stuff, right? He could move to industry of tech. He could move to industry where like he could also collaborate with some like bigger brands than he could even imagine. Maybe Tesla, Apple, that kind of approach. He could also grow like now he have to grow in different like different senses. Like he have to grow. How can you say? You have to grow in marketing in a different sense. You have to grow in content in a different sense. You have to grow in like services he's providing in a different sense. You're getting me?
do you think that the audience he is at right now
Yeah.
is the audience he deserves, or he deserves somewhere more? What do you say?
He deserves some more, of
Not
course.
deserve some more, like. Yeah, because when you see Sideman, when you see Dude Perfect and stuff, of course they're
Yeah.
entertainers and he's not. He's a boring
Yeah.
person to hear to every time, but
But like
no offense.
since he
Yeah,
tells in his videos that about two things like short-term enjoyment and long-term enjoyment. So
exactly.
he's the one who's giving the long-term enjoyment, but people are not able. Most people are not able to understand it, and most people are not even able to find him. Like people share his videos just because just because they are cool entertainers. They look cool if they watch them, but they don't look cool if they're watching a nerd, man.
No, that is a new cool, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Now it's
watching
becoming
nerds.
cool, but like not few years back.
He deserves more, bro. He deserves more.
He
And
deserves way
2.1
more.
million subs.
He deserves something like a fan following like Elon Musk or someone.
That would be outrageous, to
Like
be honest. but
Someone like Bill Gates also
why
come into
not?
same category. You're getting my
Uh,
point. Not talking about Elon
but
Musk alone.
they have achieved a lot more than him. If you
Uh,
agree
they
on me,
they have achieved lot more on than him because they were in different field. In his field, he have achieved what they couldn't have.
oh, oh, yeah, right, yeah. Like in tech, yeah, it's Bill Gates, but
It's
or
not it's not that if you are only just 2 million followers on YouTube or nothing, but like he have 2 million followers, that's a following, man. Like that's
no,
not
no,
according to the people who know him. Yeah,
the industry is productivity. By the
yeah,
way, the
yeah.
industry is productivity. And he has got 2 million followers. Listening him about productivity and stuff. There's no
Uh,
one else I got except
I
Mac
guess
Devella. Matt Devella.
Matt
Matt
Develer,
Devella has
Thomas
got.
Thomas Frank, these people, I think they've got more. Yeah.
They have the genes
Of
of this
course,
field.
of
Okay.
course. They are idol for him, man. So they
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
have
yeah,
more
yeah.
followers.
It's safe to say that he's the Elon Musk of productivity or Bill Gates of productivity.
Maybe,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Right, you're right.
थोड़ी तारीफ भी जरूरी है.
Valuable skill that you can learn that would add value to a lot of different people. One thing I always recommend to people is to learn how to code, because coding is like such an in-demand skill these days. Like there is a constant shortage of software engineers, software developers, and it's like if you know how to code to a reasonable standard, it's actually not that hard to get a job where you're either working for someone else and doing coding type stuff for them.
Believe me, bro, it's hard to get a job. Believe me.
It is. It is.
It is hard. You know,
Yeah.
think about think about it before starting this coding thing. Yeah, think about it. It's not that easy. It's not that you learn code and you get a job. No, maybe in other countries like in US,
No,
maybe
UK.
maybe.
UK, it's maybe. US, I don't think so.
Yeah, agree. UK there is a shortage of software engineers, so yeah, I agree on that. Uh,
Yeah.
US also comparatively from Asian
From
countries,
India, yeah. From Asian countries, yeah, it's great. From India, China, there are a lot of jobs.
US and UK, Australia for that instance has more job opportunities than Asian countries. So still,
Agree.
before jumping into it, yeah, you should be at least have some passion about it, and you should have scaled some decent amount of coding skills.
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
Or you're building your own stuff, building your own businesses, building your own websites, and using your coding knowledge to do that well. And certainly
That's the
learning how to
point.
code was how I got started on this entire journey of entrepreneurship when I was around 13 years old. Back in the day, I used to use really crappy resources like free stuff on the internet and random books that I would get from charity shops. These
Could
days,
you
there are
stop
tons of
the
other
video
best
here?
ways to learn code.
Even though, like we are also like trying to do the same thing that he told in the last. We tried to do the same thing he's telling in the last. Like we stopped it sometime before. Still,
Uh,
like you have to start with whatever you have.
exactly.
You can't wait that
Exactly.
if you earn some money through your job, then you'll buy this template. Then you have to find out ways, man. You have to work out for that.
Speaking of which, do you have any?
Yeah.
Can you arrange what's called Spotify? Uh, what is called? It's called
UI,
not UI. You
API.
know, you get no. You get this kind of ads. You have ads on Spotify about it. On Splash. It's a music editor kindish thing, beat maker kindish thing.
Okay.
You can make beats. What is called? What's called?
You can search it on the
What is
web.
called? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Okay.
Bro, don't show the numbers, man.
Sound trap.
What?
Can you arrange me a free version of or correct version of Soundtrap. Don't know about Soundtrap? You might have heard about it on
No,
Spotify.
no, you could send, you could show me here on the web. I'm able to see your browser and everyone in the world as well. Please be careful about that.
You know what? You can mix music on Soundtrap. You haven't heard about this on Spotify ads? Have you?
I might not have.
It's the thing, bro. 30-day free trial, 50 seats. Soundtrap, you don't know about it? 7.99.
What is this, man? Sound trap.
You can make beats on it. You can have the beats template and stuff. You can make music very easily on this.
Uh, like what we used to search pictures on. It is
But
Excel or something. That also had a sound repository, I think.
I
When
want
you,
this, bro. Can you arrange me? Can you arrange me this?
I'll look into it if I could. I'll tell you. Basically,
Can you?
what is the requirement? You can tell me the requirement. I can't I can't arrange you everything. Like, is this a app or something,
Kinda, bro. It's
or
not
a
a
web app?
like, like, you know, it's like video editing Premiere Pro. It's
If it, yeah, yeah.
less 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 famous. Less famous, but it's kinda Premiere Pro type
I'm
thing for
getting it.
music
I'm getting it.
industry. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Man, not Soundtrap, but I know the, like, Adobe makes software for that kind of a thing, beats
no,
and
no,
stuff.
no, bro. I want this. I want this, bro. Really want this. This is
I have to think it of.
like
I'll search.
for video editing everyone uses Premiere Pro or
Yeah.
mm, iClips. What it's
Uh-huh.
called for I. Yeah, yeah.
Not
This is
iClips.
what this is what most of the people uses. In music industry. And not
Oh.
Drake and Kanye West people, but the average people. Most of
Average
the
people
people.
that but like the standard software for music industry is, I think, the either the Adobe one or the one, like, I'll share you. I have the link for it.
Uh,
Yeah,
bro. Do
the industry standards. I know what people use. I'll tell you about that. But, like,
no, I'm pretty
why
sure people use
why
this.
why do you want it, man? What do you want to
I
do?
want to make beats, bro.
Make beats.
Uh, yeah, why not? I
Right.
know. What, what do you think? I can't make beats? Or like, I'm not a,
Honestly saying yes.
that's a violation, bro. That's a, don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. No problem.
Maybe if you could make something
Make,
and show to me, and, like, then you could change my mind. That's a possibility. But I haven't seen you, so,
nah,
like, judging you,
nah, nah, nah.
which is wrong, but still judging you. Like, I can do that, I
That's,
think.
that's not possibility, That's the future. I'm gonna make that bitch. I'm gonna make that music on your face, bitch, On your face.
Let's see.
See, you validated me on stream, bro. You validated me on stream. No problem.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Now the rest of the content very
One of my
shitty. I think he will talk about.
About hiring people.
Nah,
Okay.
nah, nah. He's kindly
Okay.
sponsors.
Sponsors. I also wanted to see a video, one, like, I also, like, haven't watched it. I wanted to see it with you. If you watched the last or second last video of Andre Jik, if you could search.
About Pokemon stuff.
ANDREI, crypto.
About Pokemon.
No, man, not this. Andre JIKH.
His last upload is about Pokemon. See, I told you there's
Not
much
not
more to
yeah,
it.
not this one, from zero to millionaire 6 steps.
I haven't seen this, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow we
Oh,
could watch this.
yeah, yeah. It's enough for today, you know.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. Make sure to, take this.
Yep.
Okay, let it be. Let it be. Don't give me sound trap. I'll, if there is a free version out there, I'll fund it myself. Make some bits, and you
Throw
know
it
what
on
I
my
will do
face.
exactly with it. You got that right, my bro. You got that right.
If you need words, I'm right here.
Huh?
If you need
If you no,
words,
no,
I'm right here.
no, the words are coming from me.
The beats are coming
Know
for
what I
you,
mean?
from you.
Ah, no, no, the words as well. This is a diss track for you. No, 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 I'm joking.
Why to waste a diss track on me?
Okay. Okay, okay.
Man,
That's enough, I
yeah.
guess.
Can we stop the
Enough
stream
of
now?
life, I guess.
Yeah.